This is the Baofeng UV-5RM. Now you may have this radio or a UV-5R or a slightly different radio. Many of the Baofeng radios work and are programmed in the same fashion. So what I wanted to do was go over some of the programming that you might find useful if you're going to program for repeaters, and go over a few things just to blow the mysticism away of what certain acronyms are and what you're actually programming when you're putting these settings in or changing these settings on the radio. Now I'm going to assume that you already, of course, have attached your battery and charged your phone up and attached an antenna. If you just got this in the mail and you haven't done any of those things yet, please do them first. When you get this, you are going to have the battery is going to not be attached to it. You have to put the battery on, line it up right about there, and then just slide it up and it locks in. There is a little switch, a little button you can depress right here. When you depress that, you can slide the battery off. Okay. Like I said, not going to go through all that because I'm going to assume that you've already done it. So let's move into the actual radio and programming it. The other thing I wanted to go over was your AB button here, the blue button that you see. This is going to switch you
8 degrees
back and
the
forth
relative humidity
between, sorry about that volume. That's going to switch you back and forth between your top and bottom frequencies here. So you'll see main as it appears in the upper right hand corner here where the red background is. If I switch down to the bottom one,
Marion Fair and 84
then that's going to be main.
in Lancaster Fair.
Okay, all that button does is goes back and forth between your top and bottom frequencies. Okay, now moving into programming, I'm going to use the ham national calling frequency, 146.520 megahertz, simplex, no CTCSS for tones or anything like that to program. So just a simple simplex frequency, and like I mentioned before, we have to be in frequency mode in order to make the changes on the keypad in frequency that we need to make, and then we'll enter the function settings to make sure that the function settings are correct, and then we will save the channel into an open channel slot. Okay, so first things first, let's make sure we are in frequency mode.
Channel mode. Frequency mode.
Okay, frequency mode. I've already got it in there, but you know, if I didn't, then I would just go
1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 0.
So I would put it on the frequency I wanted. Okay, and then we're going to enter the function menu by pressing the green button.
Menu.
And here is where we are going to start. I'm going to go to receive CTCSS first, which is position 10. Now, if you didn't know that ahead of time, then you could just use the up and down arrows to scroll through there. But what I wanted to make sure of is that this is, oh, that's the wrong position. So, yeah, perfect example of how you screw things up. So,
Menu.
function, and I don't know what I hit, but anyway, 1, 0. Okay, you can see that it's currently set to off, no receive CTCSS. That's exactly what I want. Now, I'm going to make sure
CTCSS.
if I wanted to set this, the number that is flashing is the number you're going to select. So when it comes to setting those tones, the flashing one is what you want when you hit the function key again to confirm it. So I'm going to hit off.
Confirm. Okay,
that is confirmed. There will be no CTCSS code set when I am receiving. Transmit is next. That's number 12. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up to number 12, or I could have punched in 1, 2, but I screwed that up the first time, so I'm not going to do that again. That is also already set to off. Again, if I wanted to change that to something different, maybe I needed to get into a repeater and I needed to set a CTCSS of 88.5, then I would scroll down to 88.5, which is right there, and then I would hit the green key, okay, and that would select 88.5 on transmit. And I will explain a little bit more about that later.
Confirm.
Keeping this off, and I'm going to save this into position number 5, which I already cleared out earlier. I'll go over that too. So number 30 in the menu is memory channel. Okay, see memory channel right here. And that is going to let me select a memory channel. So when I'm here, I'm going to
memory channel.
hit the green button to get access to the list here. Anything flashing, anything on here that you see that has a CH next to it means there is already a frequency programmed into that channel selection. So you cannot save something into that. It will make you delete it first, and then you do that from the next menu item up, number 31. And all you do is scroll to it and select delete. So I'll show you how to do that. But I already know I'm going to save this to position number 5. So as soon as I have 5 flashing,
Receiving memory.
okay, so it's received. Now it's saved into position number 5. Next, I want to program in a repeater frequency, but one of the things I want to explain first is the mysticism of CTCSS. Now, continuous tone coded squelch system is all it is. It is a setting in your radio that allows you to choose from a list of available and standardized frequencies in hertz that will be transmitted when you, for instance, if you have transmit CTCSS or tone set to, let's say, 88.5 hertz, then when you key your mic to talk, your radio is also going to send that subaudible tone of 88.5 hertz along with your voice. Now, what that does is if the repeater that you're trying to talk to uses 88.5 as a tone, then it will see that 88.5 hertz tone. It will open and allow the audio that you are saying into the repeater to be repeated on the repeater's transmit frequency, right? If you do not have that tone, you can still talk on the frequency, but you're not getting repeated because the repeater did not see the 88.5 hertz or whatever tone was used for that particular repeater. There is no more mysticism than that. The only thing I would add is that you will sometimes see CTCSS tones referred to a little bit differently. In fact, many times, like in public safety radios, they're referred to as PL tones because Motorola rules the roost when it comes to public safety radios. Motorola used that branding of PL for private line many years ago, and it stuck pretty well. It's still used to this day. I still see, for instance, I was looking the other day at radioreference.com to get a PL tone for a local ham repeater in my area, and it was listed as 88.5 PL. So even though it's technically it's called CTCSS, different companies did brand them different ways. RCA also back in the day, but I have not seen the RCA branding in a long time. They used one called Quiet Channel, QC, but I haven't seen that in ages. But you will still see PL quite often. Don't be confused by it. It's completely synonymous with CTCSS. So it's just a CTCSS tone. Okay, so let's go from simplex over to programming for repeater use. The only way this is going to be different is once we put the frequency in that we're going to use as our listen frequency, we're going to go into the function settings and we're going to change some settings around in there that will tell the radio what to do to get to the appropriate input frequency for the repeater, and if it contains a CTCSS tone, then what that CSS tone is going to be. CTCSS tone, sorry. So first of all, like I said before, let's make sure we're in frequency mode. And then we're going to plug in, I'm going to use a ham repeater for this, forgive me. I don't have a GMRS repeater close enough to me to test this once I program it, so
4, 4, 4, 2, 0, 0.
I'm going to use a local ham repeater that I have here. So this is the receive frequency for the repeater. Now what I need to do is I need to go into the function settings with the green button here.
Menu.
And I'm going to go to 0 to 8, which is the shift direction. If you can see there, shift D, okay? I'm going to select
frequency direction.
The frequency direction again, and I'm going to scroll to a plus sign and
confirm.
Hit the green button again to confirm. That's going to shift up, okay? Now, I'm going to go to 29, the next one up where it says offset. Well, it's already set to 5 megahertz. Now, if it weren't, I am going to act as if it weren't.
Offset frequency.
I'm going to put this frequency in here. So this is in megahertz. So 0, 5,
0
is what it has to be, the way it has to be entered.
Confirm.
For 5 megahertz. If you just put a 5 in there, it's probably going to go to either 500 megahertz or it's going to do something weird. So make sure you enter that with the appropriate digits there, 005000. Okay, and then confirm with the green button again. Now we've told the radio not only the receive frequency, but we have told it that it needs to shift up 5 megahertz when we hit the transmit button. And the only thing we have to do now is tell it what CTCSS codes to use. And this repeater uses, I believe, it's 151.8. So
Menu.
let's go to, it's going to be items number 10, 010. And you can see receive CTCSS. I'm going to, it's off currently, so I'm going to go,
CTCSS.
and I'm going to scroll down to get to that cool 150, whatever it was. I could have gone the other direction again, but there I go. Taking the long way. Take the long way home. Okay, 151.4, that's what it is. And then again,
Confirm.
green button to confirm. Now I've confirmed a received CTCSS of 151.4 hertz, okay? And I'm going to go now to menu item number 12, so up to number 12 to get to transmit CTCSS, and going to do the same thing. Hit the green button to change it,
CTCSS.
and scroll to 151.4. And when I get there, I'm going to hit the green button to confirm. 151.4 is flashing.
Confirm.
Okay. Now, everything is changed that I need to change in the radio itself. I just need to program this into a channel, and I'm going to pick lucky number 7. So I'm going to go to menu item 030. And that is, as you can see, memory channel. And I'm going to hit my
Memory channel.
green button and scroll to number 7. You see there is no CH with it, so it means it is an open channel, and
Receiving memory.
confirm. Okay. Now, it's programmed, and it's programmed in slot number 7. So if I go back to frequency, sorry, got to exit. Go back to frequency
Channel mode.
or channel mode, sorry. And I scroll to number
5, 4,
Oops.
5, 7, 12, 7.
There we go, number 7. That's where I just programmed. And I key up, you will see KG6 NDP listening. There you go. So now you have programmed a repeater. Now let me save you a little bit of heartache. I'll give you one more setting that you might want to change in your functions. Enter your menu and go to 005. And you will see a setting, well, depending on which radio you have, it could be 005. It might not be. It says, that's wrong. Okay, so I was wrong. Let me back out of here. I'll just scroll to ABR and see where it's located. I thought it was 5, but it might not. Oh, it's not. It is 6. Menu item number 6, ABR. So this is basically how long it's going to keep your screen on before it goes dark. Click on it and set it to whatever you want. 15 seconds, 20 seconds is the most.
Confirm.
You'll thank me later. So this thing doesn't go dark every 5 seconds and leave you hitting buttons.